The words slipped out before she could think. Her hands trembled slightly as she held the empty plate, the child's eyes still wide with silent desperation. The diner was nearly empty, the rain outside painting the windows in steady streaks of gray, and yet the moment hung heavy, charged with something no one else seemed to notice. Across the room, someone had been watching. Quietly. Unseen. Chapter 1, The Last Dollar. Clara had always been good at hiding her struggles. Her uniform was old but spotless. Her smile, though tired, never faltered. Working 2 shifts at Mason's Diner barely paid the bills, but it kept the lights on at the cramped one-room apartment she shared with her aging mother and 6-year-old daughter, Lily. It wasn't just about the paycheck, it was about dignity. But dignity had a price, and Clara had been paying it in silence for years. On this particular Tuesday, the weather had turned. The sky was crying, and so was the little boy who'd wandered into the diner alone. Soaked, shivering, and clearly hungry. Clara had asked him gently if he was lost, but he only whispered, "I haven't eaten in 2 days." She checked her wallet. $3.18. Not enough even for the cheapest item on the menu. She turned to her manager. "Please, can we give him something warm? Just toast and soup?" Mr. Granger frowned, not even bothering to look up from the register. "Not unless he pays. This is a business, Clara, not a charity." That's when she said it. "I'll pay for his meal, please." But Granger had had enough of Clara's heart getting in the way of rules. He barked out in front of the staff and 2 customers. "You're done. Clock out. Now." She stood frozen for a second. Not because of the job, but because she'd just become unable to provide for her daughter again. Chapter 2, A Silent Witness. Unbeknownst to everyone, seated at the far corner booth with a simple cup of coffee was a man in a gray hoodie, his face partially hidden under a cap. He had been watching the entire scene unfold. Every word. Every gesture. Every injustice. He didn't say anything then. Just watched. And quietly left a $100 bill under his untouched mug before walking out into the rain. That man was Lucas Arden, the newly appointed CEO of Arden Enterprises, the massive corporation that had quietly acquired Mason's Diner chain just 2 weeks earlier. He hadn't announced himself. He wanted to see how things worked at the ground level, without filters. And what he saw that night deeply disturbed him. Chapter 3, Life After Fired. Clara didn't cry when she got home. She couldn't afford to. She just sat beside her sleeping daughter, kissed her forehead, and whispered, "Mommy will figure it out." The next morning, she got up early, dressed in the same uniform, and walked back to the diner, not to beg for her job, but to leave a note for the boy in case he came back. But the diner looked different. Bright. Freshly painted. New sign. New staff. Co.